is a review on Marvel Legends Moon Knight in his modern costume, and this is part of the movie Vulture Build-A-Figure wave of the Spider-Man Homecoming series. And let's take a look at this. Check this out. This is Moon Knight in his modern comic book costume. In the last few years, it's definitely a different costume than the classic look of the character. And yet, this is really well designed. One of his better costumes. And in the Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man animated series, the episode, he wore this costume, Moon Knight, in that. And there's quite a bit of accessories, which we'll get to in a minute over here. But as for the figure itself, let's just look at the detailing here. This is painted on. It's like supposed to be armor pieces. If you look here, it's kind of shaped like crescent weapons, sort of, the design of it. Same thing here on the boots. One thing that really stands out is the way they designed the hood with the cape. Remove the cape here so we could look clearer at the figure. This is a separate piece, but it's glued on, so you can't remove it. Usually with hooded characters, the hood ratio, the proportions usually don't look good or are well made. But in recent years, Hasbro has made hooded characters well made, and this is no exception. It's really outstanding how they designed it. You see the way it goes over the forehead here and the sides. Well done there. And it might be a little easier for the review if I have the cape off for a bit. Looks like a basic black body mold, but then they've added alterations to it and did a good job. You see here they have an open hand grip. He has a closed pair of fists, which we'll get to in a minute. He has this billy club. You could combine it so we could hold it either hand like this. Or you could separate it. What really looks nice is this crescent weapon, because pose-wise, it looks cool on a display. You can see it clearly. What might be tough to see is it has 3 little crescents. And what the gimmick is on each hand, and hopefully it's going to show up, there's a little gap. You could put the 3 little crescents on the hand here. And I'm going to swap out the hands and show you. And hopefully it's going to show up here, but you could see it here. Check this out. 3 little crescents, his throwing weapons. It looks fantastic for a display. But it is definitely, a lot of people are going to lose that in their collection. They're very small pieces. And being the white color, it doesn't really, could really blend in depending on what carpet you have or accessories, so it could easily get lost. And that's why I really do like this one a little bit better, because it stands out on a display. And you could give them both here. So check this out. Well, like this. Moon Knight has always been one of those characters that, even though he cannot hold a book long term and his books get cancelled, they always find a use for him, Marvel. He always pops up now and again. And so he's definitely a character who has lasted and stood the test of time at Marvel, despite the look updates and changes. So if you don't have a Moon Knight figure, I think it's a great idea in addition for a collection. With the hood on, it is almost 7 inches tall. As for the articulation, the head, side to side, shoulders up and down and in or out, this gets in the way a little bit. It seems the sculpt is a little bit affected, or it's a little stiff on my figure there. Bicep swivel, double articulation at the elbow, the wrist, can spin it, or in or out articulation. Has a pivot right there, and waist articulation. Hips, side to side, up or down, swivel thighs, double knees, and articulated ball jointed ankles, up down to the sides. And I'm going to give my final thoughts on this action figure in a moment. So overall, what do I think of Moon Knight Marvel Legends figure here? And it was a much needed upgrade, because the only other Moon Knight we've had so far as I'm making this video in the 6-inch scale was the Toy Biz one. And that was a long time ago, and that one wasn't perfect. But this is Moon Knight in his more modern costume in the comic books. It's really well made. I like that they have the cape and cowl, how they designed it here. And he does have his accessories, swap out hands. The only thing is those 3 little crescent weapons of his are definitely going to be lost in many collections. They're so small that they're easy to misplace. But it is cool that they fit in the hand. I do like this bigger crescent that he could hold. It looks great for a display. And he has the combined staff weapon there. Again, it is not the classic costume of Moon Knight, though. It is that more modern look. The design and the overall impression. It's just a well-made action figure. If you don't have a Moon Knight for your collection, then I would highly consider this one. Hasbro did a great job on it. And so that's the review of this Moon Knight. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later.